Hey everyone, it's Matt aka Tech Ranger, and today we're going to be taking a look at 2 armor spacesuit mods for Starfield. Not paid, they're free mods inspired by some familiar games. The first being the Mass Effect franchise, and the second being the Infinite Warfare franchise, both of which are futuristic games. Ergo, let's see how they look in Starfield. These mods include multiple spacesuits, and then the last one, the Atlas clothing one, is actually even bigger than the first one. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment down below if you have any questions, but with all that said, let's take a look at these and see if they're worth checking out. First up, you have the Pathfinder Mass Effect Andromeda Redux. I wasn't a big fan of that game, but the suits did look pretty cool, and this mod adds 3 of them to the game. So Shadedness actually ported the Nexus version of this mod over to Creations, and then made some slight changes like level list injections and that sort of thing with some cool colors. There's 3 variants, with the medium one being the Pathfinder Scout, which is probably my favorite so far. I happen to have the helmet from the McLaren's outfit on when I tried out the armor, and it looks really good with this one. The Vigilant variation is going to be like your heavy version of the armor, more lights and a little bit beefier overall, as well as a light version that kind of fits with the stealth suit already in Starfield. There's also 2 versions of the same helmet, just the regular Pathfinder one, as well as a Scout version which has a little antenna on the side. At the recording of this video, there's actually no boost pack included with this, so you can use whatever you would like. If you have the Shattered Space DLC, I actually think the Varun Assault pack looks pretty good with this one. If you don't, depending on the color of your suit, I think the Navigator pack looks pretty cool, but then also the UC Marine pack looks especially good with the black and white version of the suit. It's kind of a shame to cover up the back just because the armor looks so good already. If you have the Mantis boost pack, or you've done that quest or are about to, there is a mod to actually turn that invisible, so you could use it with this one to eliminate having to use a boost pack that looks out of place. You can get like the advanced and calibrated and refined versions over at Neon, as well as just the basic versions over at Outland in New Atlantis. And one thing you may have noticed when you loaded up the mod, is especially if you have any of Zone 79's mods, is that it actually can be injected into the level list specifically for the Ecliptic Mercenaries. These armors can show up elsewhere, like in chests and things like that out in the wild, but this one is a nice touch because I just love to see the collaboration between authors, but then also the armors do look really good alongside those Ecliptic suits by Zone 79. We looked at that in an earlier video if you want to check that out. And if you saw the last video with McLaren's Outfitters, you can add perks to this armor to increase the rarity. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments down below. I'm going to link Shade's video as well on this because he did port the mod, and then he showed all of the colors in that one as well if you guys want to see a little bit more about this one. But for now, let's jump over to another mod which includes a lot of really cool armors and clothing. So now we move on to the Atlas Clothing Advanced Techware mod. You probably guessed it already, but these are from Infinite Warfare, and the mod author actually also created the Project Warfare mod, which is a lot of the weapons that you see in the screenshots. When you download this mod, you get a ton of different armor and clothing. First thing I would recommend doing after you download and install this would be to head to the UC security office. That's the one in New Atlantis. There's a locker room in the back on the right, and you'll get 2 of the suits right off the bat. First one being the Sentinel Infantry Mark 1 suit, and then the Atlas Infantry suit. So if you didn't already know that you wanted this mod and what it offers, you can at least get a look at these suits before you go and craft and buy any of them. If you're like me, you will. This mod includes 5 different suits as well as 7 different helmets. There's a boost pack as well as some actual clothing, and you'll be able to craft just about everything from this pack from the industrial workbench. This will be using your actual materials in game, so if you don't have a ton of them, you can actually buy these, but just make sure you got those things like adhesive, polymer, lubricant, so on and so forth. In my playthrough, I just started a new game plus, so I didn't have a ton of materials, nor did I really want to buy a ton, so I ended up buying one of these suits outright. So in order to do that, just head to any trade authority vendor. Some vendors will have different rarities of these suits themselves, but as we mentioned with the last mod, you can use something like McLaren's Outfitters to adjust these to your liking. There is There's a free option to do something like that, the Legendary Module Recycler. The mod author actually mentions that in the description, so I'm going to link that down in my description. I just haven't used that one yet, so I can't really speak for it. Now this is called the Atlas clothing mod, so it's not just spacesuits and helmets and the boost pack. Here's a look at the clothing items that you can also craft with the industrial workbench, or you can just end up buying. If you end up buying them from the Trade Authority, that's going to be under the clothing category. I think with most of the Infinite Warfare stuff we've seen so far from this mod author, I think it fits really well into the game. Infinite Warfare, while a Call of Duty game, Infinity Ward, the developers of that Call of Duty, might have been thinking the same in terms of NASA Punk, Future Warfare in this case, Bethesda, while making an action RPG, a little bit different. But this mod actually fits in pretty well with the game as a whole. One of the other things I appreciate about this mod too is the attention to detail, the texture on these suits. Everything looks good in game. I'm going with the performance option, so it's a little bit lower resolution in the game itself. So I even took a screenshot of one of these just to look at it over in Photoshop on the 4K monitor, and you can really appreciate a lot of the detail and time that went into actually creating some of the textures for these. And you'd think it'd be something that you have to pay for, but no, this mod is totally free. So if you like the look of a game like Infinite Warfare, or just want some cool spacesuits or armor to use in the game, check out this one. You won't be disappointed. And also check out the mod author's channel. He actually goes through and shows off some of his progress on the mods that he makes, and it's really cool to see the process. And an honorable mention, because this was just uploaded, but I did see his video on it, is the Infinite Warfare Mercenary pack. And this includes 2 suits, some variants, as well as the helmet from the Mercenary, and 2 boost packs. If you like the look of the Atlas clothing mod, you're probably going to like these as well. And that is going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what other franchises you'd like to see pop up in Starfield. We've seen a lot of Star Wars mods, but what else would you like to see? Not that I can make that happen, but at least I can show them off if that does happen. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.